Thank you, Ramesh. Thank you for taking your time to be here this afternoon. I want to start remembering that, in fact, 20 years ago, I had the chance to prepare for the Earth Summit held in Rio de Janeiro, the program for education on environmental sustainability for development, or the environmental education that could lead us to a sustainable development. 20 years ago, there was not, at least in our continent, any environmental consciousness. In the Chilean government, there was only one employee at half-time paid for any environmental issue. That was the institutional situation. The consciousness was not green, was not aware of the environmental situation. After 20 years, a complete new generation has grown, and we can affirm today, I could bet, that maybe there is no one in the world that is not aware of the need of an environmental dimension for development. So that task has been accomplished. We are conscious about, which doesn't mean that we have done it, but we are conscious. So in this present Rio Plus 20 meeting, which we covered with our little press agency, we ask ourselves what to cover, which is the need of a new challenge, of a new consciousness that could lead humanity towards new horizons, that could maybe not be improved or transform into concrete actions, but that could open new horizons. And we think that all the debate in Rio Plus 20 was very interesting, but revealed a deep concern regarding the human dimension of development. As President Mujica from Uruguay stated, the main concern is human happiness today. And we believe that we are in a new world with a new consciousness regarding 20 years ago, but also with huge new problems, which we maybe didn't foresee in those years. We are in the presence of a financial concentration that ever before has been, an economical financial concentration, as well as many other problems, but this one is leaving aside from the benefits of development, not only individuals and groups and ethnics, but also nations and even certain zones. We are in a huge crisis which we cannot avoid because of concentration of power. And this is leaving aside from development not only the economic benefits of it, but also is leaving aside from real democracy, many people, from the rights of education, from the rights of health, of housing, of retirement, of the basic human rights. So many people that already, there is a slogan, 99% of the population, we are feeling outside from the benefits of development. So we cannot speak on sustainability unless we take the human dimension of it. This present situation, this social injustice, is, according to our viewpoint, creating an atmosphere where all kinds of violence can take place. Not only the economic violence that means exploitation, but also the physical violence, also the political violence that impedes participation, also the religious violence that imposes its beliefs through fanatism and fundamentalism, the racial and ethnic violence that leaves aside from development so many peoples in the world, the institutional violence that exerts the law without the approval of people, as it just happens, for instance, with Lugo's government in Paraguay, no? The sexual, the psychological, and so on, different forms of violence. We are in a scenario where not only there is, according to our viewpoint, not very possible sustainable development, but also a critical, very critical moment for humanity, unless we start proposing a new way of sustainability which will be centered on human being. And for that, we need education and the creation of a new consciousness. I have very little time, according to Ramesh left, but I would take questions on what has happened with the Quebecois and the Chilean students during the last year on their claims for a good and public education, on what has happened with the Occupy movement, with the Indignados, and with so many other movements that are starting to develop a new consciousness with non-violent ways, but are being repressed because of using non-violence methods. Creating a new consciousness will mean to create equal opportunities and will mean us to understand development as the one that from all and for all human beings. When one person, as we saw in some panels yesterday, is left aside from the benefits of development, we all are affected. So after, with the particular questions, I could go deeper in these experiences of following a new consciousness that is trying to educate and to lead towards this kind of new development. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So